MiHoYo just announced 2 new characters that are going to be coming to Genshin Impact in the future updates. The one that we're going to be focusing on today is Arataki Itto. He's going to be a Geo user, and based on the artwork, it looks like he'll be wielding a claymore. Now, the club that we see here is either going to be a special weapon for him that'll be on the weapon banner when he drops, or this could be similar to how the Raiden Shogun unleashes her Muso no Hitatachi, where he will pull out the club when he uses his elemental burst. In terms of the character design besides the weapon, he does seem to have a different build than the characters we already have. In terms of weight, I don't see too much of a difference, but he definitely has a much more muscular build than from the previous characters that we've seen. And since there is no official information on this character and how he will play out or what will be in his kit, I just wanted to speculate a little bit and also give my hopes as to what they might do with this character. So let's get right into that. We all have tons of defense percent artifacts that we just get rid of instantly because defense, as we all know, is not a priority stat in Genshin Impact. We much rather have crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, maybe some HP, energy recharge, and stats like those. What I would love to see them do with this character, since they seem to have been experimenting a little bit with Kokomi, having her not be able to crit and scale with HP, I kind of want them to do something with defense with this character. Basically what I'm thinking is they'll have his damage scale based on his maximum defense. This will allow you to use all those defense percent artifacts or all the artifacts with defense percent in subs on this character instead of just blatantly disregarding them. But then also what I think could be cool is that he'll have a bit of a passive. It'll take the enemy's defense into consideration against your defense. And obviously these values can be played with. I'm just saying this as a point of an example, but basically let's say your defense is double what the enemy's defense is. If that's the case, then you are going to ignore a set percent of the enemy's defense. And if your defense is even higher than that, it's going to incrementally scale how much of their defense you ignore based on how much higher your defense is than theirs. Doing this will allow all of the players to shove all of their defense into this character, as well as some crit rate and crit damage, and we won't have to focus on the attack as much. That way we don't have to farm for the same exact artifacts over and over, and it will give this character a much different angle because you'll want to scale your defense higher than that of your enemy so you can ignore as much of their defense as possible. This will not only set him apart from other characters that we've had, but might also allow him to do a lot of damage against enemies that would have taken us a little bit longer to take down in the past. If you build Itto with a lot of defense and then come across an enemy with a high defense stat, you might be able to ignore part of or even most of their defense, enabling you to take them down much quicker. This would also put Itto in a bruiser class within the game, which not too many characters tend to fall into. He'll be able to take in a lot of damage, but also dish out a ton in return. Of course, they could just go the typical route and make him a DPS that scales with attack like most of the other characters, or maybe even a support, but we already have Zhongli as a really good Geo shield, so I don't think we need another shield from a Geo character. I think based on his design, based on the artwork that we see, it would be really cool to have him be a strong DPS, especially considering how muscular they've made him to be. Personally, I think that the idea of him scaling off of defense and ignoring enemies' defense is a really cool concept, but let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section below, and if you have better ideas or an idea that kind of works off of that, let me know because I'd love to hear it.